Hello everyone. Today we are going to discussing about the reproductive system and life cycle of Unio. Unio is a dioecious. I already told you in the first class. It is a dioecious. Dioecious means the male is separate, the female is separate. The sexes are separate, but there is no sexual dimorphism you can see in the Unio. Gonads are branched and are present between the foot and visceral mass. The gonads are present here. While I am explaining the digestive system, I am written the gonads around the intestine. The gonads are branched and are present between the foot and visceral mass among the coils of the intestine. Intestine itala coil ಆಗಿರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ around that there is a branched gonads are present. In the female, the ovaries are reddish in color and produces ova. Usually the female produces ova. The oviduct is a tube-like structure that arises from the ovary and opens by the genital aperture into the suprabranchial chamber of the inner gill lamina. The oviduct is a tube-like to pass the ovaries. It is arises from the ovary and opens by the genital aperture into the suprabranchial chamber of the inner gill lamina. Then come to the male. In case of male, which produces testes that are white in color and produces sperms. For the transferring of sperms, we can see the structure called vas deferens. Vas deferens that arises as a thin tube from the testes and opens by the genital aperture into the suprabranchial chamber of the inner gill lamina. Same, even the female alli ova produce ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು finally it will come to the inner gill lamina ಗೆ ಬಂದು ಸೇರುತ್ತೆ. And also in case of male, the testes, they are white in color and produces sperms. A sperms sahanunu by the genital aperture through the tube, that is through the vas deferens, it will enter into the suprabranchial chamber. So ova present here and sperms are present here. Suprabranchial chamber na gill lamina na gill lamina the suprabranchial chamber ge reach ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. The sperms produces by the male, it shed into the suprabranchial chamber and from here it is released into the surrounding water. Whatever the sperms produced by this male is shed into the suprabranchial chamber. It will come to the suprabranchial chamber. Then it will release into the surrounding water through the exhalent siphon. The sperms enter the body of the female. When it is enter to the water ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಥರ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ while enter the water to the female, ವಾಟರ್ ಈ ಒಂದು ಫೀಮೇಲ್ನ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದಟ್ ದ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಎಂಟರ್ ಟು ದ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ body. The sperms enter the body of the female muscle along with the water that enters through the hinolene siphon. ಈ ಒಂದು ಮೇಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸು ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್ siphon ಮುಖಾಂತರ it will come to the surrounding water. Then by the hinolent siphon, the water, whatever the sperms released by the male is entered to the female body by the hinolent siphon along with the water. ವಾಟರ್ ಜೊತೆಗೇನೆ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸು ಸಹ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಸೇರಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. The sperms that enter into the mantle cavity find their way through the hastia of the gills and land in the suprabranchial chamber. Hastia circulatory system ವಾಟರ್ ವ್ಯಾಸ್ಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ವಾಟರು ಒಂದು ಹಾಸ್ಟಿಯಾ ಫಿಲಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಫಿಲಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಡಿತಾ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಹಾಸ್ಟಿಯಾ. ರೌಂಡ್ ಶೇಪಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ minute pores are like structures are there, that is called as ostia. Through that ostia it will enter to the water tube na mukantara, then it will enter to the body. Here also water enter aad takshana, along with water the sperms also enter the body of the female male along with the water that enters through the inhalent siphon. The sperms that enter into the mantle cavity find their way through the ostia of the gills and land in the suprabranchial chamber. Already the ova is present in the suprabranchial chamber. Ova are also released into the suprabranchial chamber and fertilization occur in the cloaca. Already here in the suprabranchial region the ova is produced, and also through the water the sperms also reached here in the suprabranchial chamber. So the fusion of the male and female gametes occur. When the fusion of the male and female gametes occurs, so the development will be starts in the cloaca. Now in the suprabranchial chamber the male and female sperms and ova is fused together, so further development will takes place in the cloaca. The zygote formed move down into the water tubes of the outer gill lamina and settle down for the further development. Both they will contact each other and form the zygote that move down into the water tubes of the outer gill lamina and will settle down for the further development. Let us see the early development. What will be the development will be taking place. The zygote undergoes a complete development but unequal cleavage. The zygote, imagine it is a zygote, it is undergoes a complete development but unequal cleavage, resulting a halo ball of cells. This is the blastula. Halo ball of cells called blastula. Blastula, it is nothing but a halo ball of cells. It is like a mulberry fruit like structure, that is called as blastula. It consists of two types of cells, that is micromers and macromers. For this blastula we can see two poles, that is this is animal pole. In the posterior region we can see this is vegetal pole. This is animal pole, this is vegetal pole. Smaller cells are micromers present on upper side or animal pole. Larger cells are called macromers, which are present on the lower side. That means smaller cells on the upper side and larger cells on the vegetal pole. Invagination of the macromers into the micromers, resulting in a gastrula having a small archenteron. It is a mulberry fruit like structure. We can see here it is a animal pole and this is a vegetal pole. In the animal pole we can see micromers, means very small cells. In the vegetal pole we can see a large cells. The invagination of these macromers into the micromers, resulting in a gastrula having a small archenteron like this. Small archenteron like this. The gastrula bears a tuft of cilia posteriorly. Here we can see a tuft of cilia. Some large cells are budded up into the blastocyst to form a mesodermal cells. That forms a mesoderm. Simultaneously, a deep invagination on the posterior dorsal side of the embryo forms a characteristic molluscan organs. Characteristics molluscan organs. That means the shell gland. Here you can see the shell gland and an unpaired embryonic shell which is replaced later by a bivalve shell. The valves of the shell are triangular and ventral angle of each bears a serrated hook. The valves of the shell are triangular. The valves of the shell are triangular and ventral angle of each bears a serrated hook. I will show the diagram later. An adductor muscle is formed by the mesoderm cell. Mouth of the gastrula closes and definite mouth is subsequently formed by an invagination of ectoderm. The body of the embryo splits from ventral to the dorsal side and gradually changes into a larva called Glochidium larva. The larva is Glochidium larva, that is the characteristic of freshwater mussel. Let us see about the Glochidium larva. This one, this is the Glochidium larva. Okay, Glochidium larva. This is the structure of Glochidium larva. The Glochidium larva is a minute larva of Unio. It measures about 0.1 to 0.4 mm wide. The shell consists of two triangular and porous valves. You can see here two triangular porous valves united dorsally. See here, it is united, attached agide, united dorsally and free ventrally. Here in this region it is not united. Dorsally it is united, ventrally it is opened. The ventral free end of each side is produced into a conspicuous hooks. These are the hooks. Conspicuous hooks beset with many spines. These are the spines. Beset with many spines. The shell encloses the body with the right, left mantle lobes. Right? These are the mantle lobes. These are all the mantle lobes. Mantle lobes are very small and their margins bear on each side 3 to 4 group of peculiar bristle-like structures. Bristle-like structures on both sides of this mantle lobes. These mantle lobes are very small and in the margin we can see 3 to 4 groups of bristle-like sensory structures. The valve close together by action of a single massive adductor muscle extending transversely between two valves. The foot is not yet developed here for this Glochidium larva. The foot is not yet developed, but the midventral surface of the body has a glandular pouch which secretes a long sticky thread-like structure called larval byssus. Large number of Glochidia are produced which fill the outer gill lamella. The large number of Glochidia are produced which fill the outer gill lamella. Inside them, Glochidia remain entangled. Entangled means it is twisted together. Entangled by their bices and nourish on mucus secreted by the gills. How the Glochidia takes nourishment means inside the Glochidia remain entangled by their bices and nourishes on mucus secreted by the gills, which sufficiently when these Glochidia sufficiently mature, they are expelled through the excellent siphon into the surrounding water and slowly sink to the bottom. Till here, they are present in the female body, that is in the suprabranchial chamber. This process all takes place. Then, when the sufficient mature takes place, they are expelled, means they are come out through the excellent siphon to the surrounding water and slowly sink to the bottom. The Glochidia cannot move in this stage and cannot feed. Only they can open and they can close their shell, but they cannot move independently. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಊಟ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೂ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ದೇ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಫೀಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಓಪನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ದರ್ ಶೆಲ್. They grow further to continue their existence. They must now come to in contact with the fresh water as ectoparasites. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಸೈಟ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕು. ಮೆನಿ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್ ಡೈ ಫಾರ್ ಓಂಟ್ they didn't get the proper host. ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಗದೆ so many Glochidia larvae will be die. However, some Glochidia come in contact with the proper species of fish and anchor its skin, fins and gills by closing their hooks, valves and penetrating the host tissue by larval bices. So many Glochidia larvae will be die without getting an host. Only they will survive by anchoring of or by searching of parasitic fish. Many of them die. However, some come in contact with proper species of fish and anchor. Anchors means attach, fix. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಫಾರ್ ದ ಫಿಶ್ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ಗೆ, ಪಿನ್ಸ್ಗೆ, ಗಿಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಟೈಟಾಗಿ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಬೈ ದ ಹೆಲ್ಪಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಹುಕ್ಸ್. ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಟು ದ ಗ್ಲೊಚಿಡಿಯಂ ಲಾರ್ವಾ ದ ಹುಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ and also bice is also present. So by that help they will penetrate, they will firmly or tightly fix to the skin and fins, gills of the fish ಗೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. The closure of the valves seems to be due to a chemical stimulation by the salts escaping from the tissue of the fish. The closure of the valve seems to be how the valves will be closed means the chemical stimulation by the salts. ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಫಿಶ್ನಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ಸಿಂದ ಆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ವು ಟೈಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲೊಚಿಡಿಯಾ ಲಾರ್ವಾದ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ವ್. ದ ಕ್ಲೋಸರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ವ್ಸ್ seems to be due to the chemical stimulation by the salts escaping from the tissue of the fish. ಫಿಶ್ನ ಒಂದು ಟಿಶ್ಯೂಯಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಾಲ್ಟಿಂದ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ದಿಸ್ ಗ್ಲೊಚಿಡಿಯಾ ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಫಿಶ್. ಆ ಫಿಶ್ಶಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಾಲ್ಟಿಂದ ಸೊ ಆ ಎರಡು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ವ್ಸು ಇನ್ನೂ ಟೈಟಾಗಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ದೇ ಸೂನ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಎನ್ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಎ pathological overgrowth of the skin. The skin of the fish growing around the Glochidia forms the blackheads. Means imagine ಫಿಶ್ಗೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ದ ಗ್ಲೊಚಿಡಿಯಾ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಟೈಟಾಗಿ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಆಚೆಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ಫುಲ್ ಟೈಟಾಗಿ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಥರ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದರ ಒಂದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ ಆ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಹೆಡ್. ಈಗ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಹೆಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲವ್ರ ಮುಖದ ಮೇಲೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಹೆಡ್ಸ್ ವೈಟ್ ಹೆಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿರ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ಟೈಟಾಗಿ ಅದು ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿ ಆ ಥರ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲೊಚಿಡಿಯಂ ಲಾರ್ವಾ ಆನ್ ದ ಫಿಶ್ ಸ್ಕಿನ್. In this condition, they lead to truly ectoparasitic life, receiving nourishment from the host about to 10 weeks. 10 ವೀಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗೋವರೆಗೂ ಸಹ ಆ ಥರ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿದ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಫಿಶ್ಶಿಂದ ಬರುವಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ನರಿಶ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಇದು ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ವಿಚ್ ದೇ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ a peculiar metamorphosis to develop into young adult larva. See, ವಾಟರ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಸುಪ್ರಾಬ್ರಾಂಕಿಯಲ್ ಚೇಂಬರಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಓಕೆ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ ಅರ್ಲಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಯಿತು ಇನ್ ದ ಬ್ರೂಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್. ಸೊ ಬ್ರೂಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾಕಿಂದ ಔಟರ್ ಗಿಲ್ಲಾಮಿನಿಂದ ಇದು ಡಿಸ್ಚಾರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ಲೊಚಿಡಿಯಾ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಆಚೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಆಚೆ ಬಂದು ಎಲ್ಲ ವಾಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಡೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಫೀಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸರ್ಚ್ ದ ಫುಡ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಫುಡ್ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಸರ್ವೈವ್ ಆಗಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸರ್ಚ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಸೈಟ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಸೈಟ್ ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅದು ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ವೈಲ್ ಸರ್ಚಿಂಗ್ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಆರ್ ಡೈ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಗದೆ ಸತ್ತೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓನ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಾನ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಎ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಸೈಟ್ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಅದು ಸರ್ವೈವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಬೈ ರಿಸೀವಿಂಗ್ ದ ನರಿಶ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದಪ್ಪ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಫಿಶ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್. ಆ ಫಿಶ್ನ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕಿನ್ಗೆ ಗಿಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಈ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲೊಚಿಡಿಯಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಟೈಟಾಗಿ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಥರ ಟೈಟಾಗಿ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಹೆಡ್, ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಥರ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆ ಒಂದು ಫಿಶ್ನ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಸಹ ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಗಾಯದ ಥರ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ದ ಗ್ಲೊಚಿಡಿಯಾ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್. ಇದು ಫಿಶ್ನ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕಿನ್ನು. ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಗ್ಲೊಚಿಡಿಯಾ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲೊಚಿಡಿಯಾಗಳು ಆ ಫಿಶ್ನ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನೋ ಗಾಯ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಲುಕ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ದ ಗ್ಲೊಚಿಡಿಯಾ. ದೆನ್ about 2 or 10 weeks ಆಗೋವರೆಗೂ ಸಹ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ದ ನರಿಶ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫಿಶ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಡೌನ್. ಆ ಒಂದು ವೀಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರ ಒಂದು ಲೋಬ್ ವೀಕ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲೊಚಿಡಿಯಾ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬಿದ್ದೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಗಾಯ ಥರ ಇದೆ ಅದು ವೀಕ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬ್ರೋಕನ್ ಫಾಲ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಬಾಟಮ್ಗೆ ಬಿದ್ದೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಕೆಳಗಡೆಗೆ. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಎ ಮೆಚ್ಯೂರ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಆರ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಯೂನಿಯೋ. ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು ಮೆಟಾಮಾರ್ಫೋಸಿಸ್. ಈ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಟಾಮಾರ್ಫೋಸಿಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಿ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೀನ್ ಬೈ ಮೆಟಾಮಾರ್ಫೋಸಿಸ್. Metamorphosis, it is nothing but usually addition or deletion of some features, some organs. Maybe in the metamorphosis some organs add ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ some organs remove ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. Let us see ಯಾವ ಥರ ಮೆಟಮಾರ್ಫೋಸಿಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. See the diagram. Glochidium larva. This is the Glochidium larva. About 10 weeks fish hatrane nourishment ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡು it will developing ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. See, you can see for this Glochidia you can see the provisional byssus thread and also we can see the hooks, then lateral pit, sensory ಸೀತೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಸಹ ಇದೆ. Not this one, only see the first diagram. Then we can see the adductor muscle, anterior adductor muscle, then visceral ganglion, all are present for this. Then ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ this will become changes to this. Now you see a second diagram, metamorphosis ಆಗಿ changes ಆಗಿ ಏನೇನೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, then whatever the characters are gone. We can see foot formation of the foot formation ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, and also mouth for the feeding, and also rudimentary gills for the respiration. Here in the previous stage there is a necessity of the byssus thread. Even the byssus thread ಇದೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಸೆನ್ಸರಿ ಸೀತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹುಡುಕೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಟು ಸರ್ಚ್ ದ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಸೈಟ್. ಆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಯಾರಾಸೈಟ್ಗೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನೆಸೆಸರಿ ಆಫ್ byssus thread ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ದೆನ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ನರಿಶ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಗ್ರೋಯಿಂಗ್, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಅಡಲ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಥ್ರೆಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಸೆನ್ಸರಿ ಸೀತೆ ಸಹ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ದ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೌತ್, ಫುಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೆಟಮಾರ್ಫಸಿಸ್. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಸರ್ವೈವ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಗ್ಲೋಚಿಡಿಯಂ ಲಾರ್ವಾ. ಅಬೌಟ್ ಟು 10 weeks ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ದೇ ಗಾಟ್ ಎ ನರಿಶ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ನರಿಶ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿದೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ, ಫುಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಮೌತ್ ಫುಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ತಿನ್ನುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಎನರ್ಜಿನ ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ನೆಸೆಸರಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ metamorphosis. Then let us see the significance of Glochidia. The life cycle that includes a parasite Glochidium larva on a fish host has many advantages besides affording protection and a means of nourishment. It ensures a far wide and more rapid disappear of the species. A fish may carry these tiny particles to a great distance before they drop off. Considering the sluggish habits and poor locomotor ability of the mussels, this is probably the only way to ensure their proper distribution. This is the significance. Thank you.